My name is Emma Sulkowitz. I am a junior at Columbia College. I am a visual arts major. On the first day of my sophomore year, I was raped by a fellow classmate. I didn't report at first because it's a big emotional trauma and I didn't feel like dealing with it at first until I met, at that time, 2 other women who told me the same person who had assaulted me had assaulted them. The school found a way to dismiss each of our 3 cases separately. My rapist still goes to my school and still is on campus.
This is not a single campus issue. This is not an individual issue. This is a cultural problem. We have a huge issue with rape culture on all college campuses. There was a study that was done that shows that men on college campuses who are perpetrators are more often than not repeat offenders. The average number of people a perpetrator will sexually assault is 6, according to this study. So this isn't a random phenomenon. This isn't, this happens in an alley, this happens when everyone's incredibly drunk at a party. There is a certain profile for what sexual assault looks like on a college campus, and that is why we need administrators to be open and transparent about that. Right now, their approach seems to be to ignore the problem, to try to deny students access to resources, to deny that it's happening at all, when in fact, they really should be getting in front of the issue.
Our hearing took place 7 months after I reported the incident. The investigator in my case didn't take down many important things, such as the position I was in when he raped me. My hearing panelists weren't even trained. One woman kept asking me how it was physically possible for anal rape to happen. Why Columbia didn't find him responsible? I don't actually get to write a statement of what happened. It's all the investigator's statement that they read. There's an office called the Office of Gender-Based and Sexual Misconduct. You go in there, and at that time a woman was working there, so I told her what had happened. She was the one who took erroneous notes and missed really important things that I said. Since her statement didn't make any sense, my case didn't make any sense. I think another reason that the school didn't find him guilty was that they really didn't want to treat it as a serial rape case, because all 3 of us reported, and then they would say, you're not allowed to mention each other's cases, we're going to treat them separately. I think that if the hearing panelists had known that this was a serial offender, they might have believed us more, maybe. They also said that there was not enough evidence to determine that it was more likely than not that the respondent engaged in behavior that met the definition of sexual assault. So the charge was dismissed.
There are many reasons why a student would choose to not go to the police and go to, a campus adjudication process. Many people don't want the outcome to be the person that attacked them to go to jail. If you're a person of color or if you're queer, the process of going to the police can also be one that is not necessarily competent or great to deal with. Some people seek out resources from their school in order to make sure that they're not living in the same dorm as a person who assaulted them, which is very different than making sure that someone goes to jail. And I also think that improving processes on campus across the board, including therapy for survivors, adequate rape crisis centers, and adequate academic interim measures are things that are important for everyone to have that the police absolutely cannot give you when you're a student.
Every day, I'm afraid of leaving my room. Even seeing people who remotely look like my rapist is a scary thing for me. Last semester, I was working in the dark room in the photography department, which is a small dark room. He asked permission from his teacher to come and work in the dark room during my class. I started crying and hyperventilating, and as long as he's on campus with me, he can continue to harass me. They're setting up for graduation for all of the seniors, and all of the bleachers are coming up on campus, and I was just thinking about the fact that because of what the administration did, I'm going to have to be sitting on those bleachers with my rapist, and a serial rapist at that, knowing that he's going to get the same education as me, and I'll be feeling horrible on my graduation day.
A lot of students think that when they go to a campus, if they see that there are 0 sexual assaults reported, that that's a really positive thing, that must mean that campus is incredibly safe and it's going to be a great place. But actually, when you consider the fact that the overall rates of sexual assault on campus are as high as 1 in 4, if you see a campus reporting 0 sexual assaults, that should actually be a red flag.
I feel like it's taken over my entire college experience. This happened on the first day of my sophomore year, and here I am. I just finished my last day of school for my junior year, and I'm still talking about it and still thinking about it. And I know that I'm going to look back on my entire Columbia experience and see that how the administration has failed me. And it's like a cloud that'll always hang over me.